Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the National Western and the African American Heritage Rodeo. Are you ready to have a good time here? Come on, Leon. Come on, Quincy. Wow. Do your thing, buddy.
It takes the love of the game and dedication. It's something that it has to be inherent in you. It's something that you really want to do, and you've been wanting to do it for all your life. Cowboys are like your track stars. We're individual competitors, okay, and that's where your dedication, your focus come in, because you're gonna do everything you can in your powers to beat the next man or woman in your particular event. I've been rodeoing for about a little over 35 years. I started after I got a comeback from Vietnam, and I met a gentleman by the name of Henry Lewis. He was an old black cowboy that lived in Aurora, Colorado, and I used to go and help him rope. Next thing I knew, I had a rodeo rig and horses, and that was the beginning of the beginning. When I was growing up, I would always see white cowboys on TV and never saw any African American cowboys. If we saw an African American cowboy, he probably was in the role of a chuck wagon cook or something like that. So that was the thing that really sparked my interest. Every time I would go home, my dad and mom, they would say, "You finally found your little niche, huh? You ended up being a cowboy just as you always indicated when you was growing up as a child." And it was a childhood dream realized. Every dime we make, we have to earn. You earn that by winning shows. You can't win unless your horse gonna put you in a position to win. You got to trust that horse, and that horse got to trust that you're gonna do what you're supposed to do. Beer Money is my new calf roping horse, and it starts a lot of conversation. Every time I say, they say, "What's your horse name?" I say, "Beer Money," and they start laughing. They say, "Why you name it Beer Money?" And I say, "Well, the only money you're gonna win rodeoing is enough money to buy a beer and a hamburger." The cowboy community is really inclusive. Of course, you're going to have some racism, but for the most part, I never experienced anything like that. I was invited in with open arms. My friends, we went down the road together. They were all white, and being that I'm one of the few African American cowboys in Denver, it was just a part of the family. Cowboys is a different breed, What we look at is how competitive you are. The National Western Stock Show is the beginning of rodeo season for the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. It's like going to Las Vegas. I mean, you got all the whistles and bells, you got livestock, you got petting zoos, you got people coming from all over the world, all over the country. My first rodeo competition was the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. When I made the Bill Pickett finals, that was, hey, this is the real deal. Bill Pickett is the African American cowboy who invented the art of bulldogging. He got the idea from watching a bulldog bite a steer on the lip. Now, in today's rodeo, bulldog is called steer wrestling. And what bulldogging is, you got a hazer and you have the guy that dismounts the horse onto the steer's horn and rests him to the ground. And that's the only event in rodeo that they can trace back to its origin. The producer, Lou Vasson, he got this wild idea that he's gonna do a touring black rodeo. And when Lou Vasson brought the Bill Pickett Rodeo to Denver, Colorado, it was an awakening. Okay, it's like, where these guys come from? What? And they were good. Now Lou have since passed away, and we miss him dearly. But we thank him for educating America that African American cowboys have been around for centuries.
When we were enslaved, we managed the cattle on the plantations and ranches in Texas. So back then, the statistic was almost 1 in 3 cowboys was black. Majority of cowhands and ranch hands were of Mexican ancestry, and then you had black ancestry and indigenous people and European immigrants. Maurice Wade helps us to understand that and celebrate that history and look at the diversity of the people that managed the cattle and changed the lives of hundreds of thousands of people throughout the West.
We have people coming up to us all the time telling us even today they never realized there was any black cowboys. In fact, before they started Bill Pickett Rodeo, I thought I was the only black cowboy. Now here in Denver, it's no longer the Bill Pickett Rodeo. Lou was very insistent. He felt that the National Western needed an African American event in there. And as a result, we have the Martin Luther King African American Rodeo Champions.
My name is Savannah Roberts and I'm 12 years old. I've been doing rodeo basically ever since I was about 6, but competing since I was 4.
Down the alley, and here we go. Here is the champion cowgirl.
It's really, really, really fun because the people that I'm with, they've kind of watched me grow up, and I just know a lot, and it's like a big family that I'm surrounded by. It's only for black cowboys and cowgirls. It's a big rodeo, so that it makes me feel really special. Like some of my friends, they can't do it, so they're always like asking about it.
It's not only the pride that we cowboys feel when we compete at that rodeo, it's the people. When they applaud you, you can feel that pride coming out of them, because a lot of them, they never saw anything like that. That's how it all began for me 35 years ago with the Bill Pickett Rodeo, and I said, man, this is exciting and this is fun, and I met great people, and it's what I wanted to do all my life. After me watching Roy Rogers and the Cisco Kid, Artie Murphy, and all those guys on TV and never seeing an African American cowboy, this was a dream come true. My name is Maurice Mo Better Wade, and I am Denver.